Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth? Thank you, Mr. Ahmada. Sir, you're here on a Superior Court failure to appear warrant. You have a status conference August 5th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am affirming bond in the amount of $500. It is secured appearance. You can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. It's less than $1,000. Some companies may not work with that number. I believe there are some that will, but I don't know what their terms would be. If you pay your bond, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates, promising to comply with supervision and with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Mr. Ahmada, do you have any questions? All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Mary Delgado and then Chantel Carbon will be on deck.
Mary Delgado.
Your date of birth, Ms. Delgado?
Huh?
Your date of birth? Delgado. Ma'am, you're here on a Superior Court new case and on a probation violation warrant. In your new case, I find probable cause for the allegations: one count of possession or use of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, one count of possession or use of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, one count of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference August 5th, 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing August 7th, 8:31 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am setting bond amount of $250. You have a $250 bond in your probation case. So your total bond is $500. Secured appearance means you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. It's less than $1,000. Some companies may not work with that number. I believe there are some that will. If you pay your bond, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You are not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You must admit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Then, Ms. Delgado, regarding your probation warrant, this is for alleged violations of terms 3 and 5. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing August 5th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse, and I'm affirming bond in the amount of $250 with those same conditions and restrictions of release. Ms. Delgado, do you have any questions? Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Chantel Carbon and then Kevin Clark will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Chantel Carbone.
Carbone. Ma'am, you're here on a Superior Court probation violation warrant for alleged violations of terms 3 and 5. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing scheduled August 5th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. And I am affirming bond in the warrant in the amount of $250. It is secured appearance. Technically, you can work with a bail bonding company. However, that number is so low, I don't believe any will work with that number. I may be mistaken. But if you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates and promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Giselle, I do need to edit this slightly. In addition, ma'am, you're not to possess any weapons. You must admit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Ms. Carbone, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, I mean, it's on 250, I know it's super low, but, I mean, I have no new charges, and the nature of my initial crime really isn't, I don't know if you see what I'm on probation for. It's really not, I don't know, anything I think I should be held on. I mean, I will show up to court. I'm not trying to run from anything or anything, but...
Well, yeah, I guess it's that last part, ma'am, is because, I mean, you said you're not trying to run from anything,
yeah,
and yet if you...
I know I should have been a little more aggressive in contacting her this last month, but it was other issues.
Well, it's that there's no contact. There hasn't been for months and months. It's not none within the last month. It's that...
We actually never
over and over again that there's no contact.
We never spoke, but we were talking through text message. I gave her my address, told her she can come see me anytime. She didn't tell me to come visit her, so I thought she was going to come to see me. But we were talking through text message.
Okay, but when was the last text message?
I don't remember, but...
And when were you released?
I was released, I think, in April, or put on probation in April.
Okay.
But we were talking through text message a few times. If you do look at my background, I completed drug court in 2018, so I can do it again. And like I said, my initial crime is crazy.
Well, I guess, ma'am, yeah, so, I mean, you've done this before, which I'm glad to hear that. I believe you can do it again. But I guess what would be different tomorrow than was different yesterday?
I don't want to come here again.
Okay, so what's gonna change tomorrow then? Because it seems to me like, I mean, what you've said is, I mean, you made some contact. What the note shows is that you left some voicemails.
Right. It was honestly, it was living situations that we didn't have a stable place to live. I do now though, and I can get a hold of her. I can make this work. I will.
Okay, but I guess that's still the concern for me is why didn't that happen yesterday? If you now have a stable living situation, and you could have been in compliance, I'm assuming at least within the last little while, then why was it going to be different tomorrow than it was different before?
It was hard then, but it's not going to be difficult now. I can do it. It will be different. I'll wait down here for her. Okay, Ms. Carbone, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch this to an unsecured bond. That means you will be able to leave today as long as you go to court August 5th. That's your court date. The $250 bond will be wiped out, so you don't have to pay anything today. You'll be able to leave in about 4 hours to 6 hours from now. I really appreciate that. I will be there.
Okay. Make sure to get there. Make sure, again, that you need to get in touch with your probation officer. And it's not just some phone calls. You need to go down to the probation office and get this taken care of. And so, Ms. Carbone, let me just explain. You don't want to come back here. You gave that as one of the reasons. There's people who will never find an excuse not to comply with probation. So, I mean, I hope I'm making the right decision, because the thing is, I get that it's really hard out there if your living situation's not right, things like that. But even if your living situation's not right, even if you've got problems, you lose a job, whatever the case may be, that can't be an excuse to not comply with probation.
Right.
Because if you let excuses get in the way, you will be violated, you'll be back here, and eventually you'll have your probation revoked. There's people who never, ever let anything get in the way of probation. They always comply no matter what.
Right.
And then I almost never see them. When I see them, it's usually only because they've relapsed, and I look at their record and I see this person has never missed an appointment with probation. I'm going to release this person. It's an easy decision for me. Or sometimes people make mistakes, they haven't been in compliance, and then they self-surrender. And those are easy releases for me too. So I just genuinely hope that you'll choose that other route, because it may seem like the harder route to never let an excuse get in the way. It's the easier route because you don't have to come back here.
Right.
All right, Ms. Carbone, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, Kevin Clark and then Jordan Farrow will be on deck. I'm going to edit Mr. Clark's as well. Just one moment, please, sir. Hi, good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Kevin James Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark, you are here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegations of one count of unlawful flight from law enforcement in the vehicle That is a Class 5 felony, also one count of reckless driving, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference August 13th, 8:31 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Preliminary hearing August 15th, 8:31 a.m. Mr. Clark, I am going to release you on supervised release. The county attorney's office requested a $500 bond. I don't see prior criminal history, so that's why I'm going to release you on supervised release. You are promising to go to court on all of your court dates, comply with that supervision, and comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Mr. Clark, do you have any questions?
That's it. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Great day.
You too. Thank you. All right, Jordan Farah, and then let's see, Kristen Chi will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Jordan Farah.
Mr. Farah, you're here on a Superior Court failure to appear warrant. You have a status conference August 13th, 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing August 15th, 8:31 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Farah, I'm going to release you on supervised release, so I'm going to give you another chance to get to court. It's very important you get to court on all of the rest of your court dates. If you don't show up again, next time it's almost certain you'll have to pay a bond in order to be released. So make sure to go. And also, you must comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release, plus you're not to possess any weapons. Mr. Farah, do you have any questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Kristen Chi and then Josue Alvarez will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Kristen Chi.
Thank you, Ms. Chi. Ms. Chi, you're here on a Superior Court failure to appear warrant. You have a status conference August 13th, 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing August 15th, 8:31 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Ms. Chi, I'm going to give you another chance to go to court. I'm going to release you on supervised release.
Okay.
So it's really important you get to court on the rest of your court dates. If you miss court again, you'll be arrested, and next time it's almost certain you'll have to pay a bond.
Okay.
So make sure to go to court. You must comply with the supervision. You have the standard conditions and restrictions of release as well. Ms. Chi, do you have any questions?
No.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Josue Alvarez and then Corey Isaacs will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Josue Alvarez.
Thank you, Mr. Alvarez. Mr. Alvarez, would you put your hands to your shirt sleeves? Thank you, sir. Sir, you're here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegations. One count of possession or use of dangerous drugs, which is a Class 4 felony, and one count of possession or use of drug paraphernalia, it's a Class 6 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. Your case will be heard at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. You have a status conference August 13th, 8:31 a.m., and a preliminary hearing August 15th, 8:31 a.m. Mr. Alvarez, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. That means you're going to leave here in approximately 4 hours to 6 hours from now. Because you're being released, you're promising to go to court on all of your court dates and promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department. Mr. Alvarez, do you have any questions?
So my court would be in downtown Phoenix?
It'll be in downtown Phoenix, the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse.
Is there any possibility to get it switched to Glendale?
No, I'm not able to do that. There's not a Superior Court building there. So the address will be in your paperwork.
Okay.
Yeah, again, we don't have a location there for you to go.
Okay, just because it's closer to where I live and...
No, I hear you, sir. Yeah, unfortunately, right, we don't have a courthouse there.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Corey Isaacs and then Jasim Kano will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Corey Isaacs,
Thank you, Mr. Isaacs. Mr. Isaacs, you're here on a Superior Court direct complaint arrest warrant charged with one count of possession or use of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, one count of possession or use of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference August 13th, 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing August 15th, 8:31 a.m. That's at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Isaacs, I am going to release you on your own recognizance. So that means you're going to be leaving here in approximately 4 hours to 6 hours from now. Because you're being released, you're promising to go to court on all of your court dates, promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release, and you must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department. Mr. Isaacs, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Justine Kano and then Thomas Bindell will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Good afternoon, Hasim Ortiz.
Mr. Kano, sir, you're here on a Superior Court direct complaint arrest warrant. You are charged with 2 counts of aggravated DUI because your license was suspended or revoked, a Class 4 felony, 2 counts of aggravated DUI, driving the wrong way, a Class 4 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference August 13th, 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing August 15th, 8:31 a.m. That'll be at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Kano, I'm releasing you on your own recognizance. So you will be leaving here in approximately 4 hours to 6 hours from now. Because you're being released, you're promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol, and you must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department. Sir, do you have any questions?
Yes. So I actually got my vehicle towed, and I'm trying to figure out they told me it was a minimum 20 days, and I'm trying to make sure if that was correct.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Yeah, I don't have an answer to that. So
Okay.
you'd have to take that up with the agency that either arrested you or towed your vehicle.
Okay, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Thomas Bindell and then Deshaun Flanagan Fowles will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Thomas Bindell,
Mr. Bindell. So you're here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegation, 1 count of possession or use of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference August 13th, 8:31 a.m. Preliminary hearing August 15th, 8:31 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Bindell, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. So you are going to leave here in approximately 4 hours to 6 hours from now. Because you're being released, you're promising to go to court on all of your court dates, and you're promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons. Sir, do you have any questions?
I've got a question. So the standard release conditions, am I not allowed to leave the state?
So under the standard conditions, that's correct. You're not allowed to leave the state. I can allow you to leave the state if you have good cause. So
my job is traveling.
Okay.
So I go to California every weekend and come back on the weekends. And
so is it just California that you travel
right now
to?
it is, yeah.
Right now it is. Okay. And that's for your job, correct?
Correct.
All right, that's a good reason, in my opinion. So I will order then that you can go to the state of California. Your return date will be August 13th. That's the day of that first hearing.
Okay.
At that time, you'll need to discuss that with your attorney because it would require another judge to order you to be allowed to go to California.
Okay.
Okay. There also is a possibility, sir, that the prosecutor's office won't bring charges within 48 hours. They may not. I don't know. So make sure there's a phone number I've provided. Check in with the court in 4 or 5 days. See if the case is going forward. If it doesn't go forward, then none of this is in effect. None of my orders are in effect right now.
They have 48 hours to do it, and then if they don't do it, is that what you're saying?
Right. They have 48 hours to file charges.
Okay.
I believe that's correct. So, but that doesn't mean that they can't file charges at a later date.
Okay.
Okay, so let me explain. You've been arrested for this. I find probable cause, but the charges haven't been brought yet by the prosecutor's office. When I'm going over these charges with you, I'm noting that there is probable cause, based on what the police have written, for you to be charged with that.
Okay.
It's still up to the prosecutor's office. Sometimes they file that within 48 hours, and then those court dates I've given you are going to be the same court dates.
Okay.
Sometimes they wait longer. It's important you keep your address updated with the court at all times because they may decide to bring the case maybe a year from now.
Okay.
And then they'll reach out to you at your last known address.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions, sir?
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bindell. Good luck to you. Deshaun Flanagan Fowles, and then we'll take care of our one house call. All right, good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Deshaun Flanagan Fowles.
Mr. Flanagan Fowles. Sir, you're here on a justice court warrant charged with one count of failing to stay at an accident. That is a misdemeanor, and you have an arraignment hearing August 13th, 10 a.m. at the San Marcos Justice Court. It is a failure to appear warrant. I am going to release you, sir, on your own recognizance. So you're going to leave here in approximately 4 hours to 6 hours from now.
Yes, sir.
Because you're being released, you're promising to go to court on all of your court dates and promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Mr. Flanagan Fowles, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.